good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Wow. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you to Cook County Board President, Madam Toni Preckwinkle, for being here. Right. Thank you to Cook County Commissioner of the 1st District, Tara Stamps, for being here today. Alderman Chris Taliaferro was here, and in his absence, he will have Kaji McMullen. Please come over, Kaji, all right? Thank you for being here. And Department of Housing Commissioner Lisette Castaneda for joining us today. All right. I'm Jessica Caffrey, and I am the Executive Director of the Cook County Land Bank, and I am so thrilled to have you all here today for this ribbon cutting of 1701 North Melvina Avenue in this Galewood community. Thank you.
All right.
This is an exciting day because we're standing inside a real example of what a public-private partner looks like. This is where a private developer, Mr. Leotis Thomas Jr., and public entities such as the county and the city and CIC came together to facilitate our mission of returning vacant land back to the tax roll and to create safe housing. Not only safe housing, but affordable housing. A few years ago, yes, this is great. A few years ago, this building was an active housing court, and it was at risk of continuing to be neglected and to deteriorate. But the building was entered into the Trouble Building Initiative, which is overseen by the Department of Housing, and CCLBA was a partner and a participant in this. Through a coordinated approach among the city and the county and CIC and the hard work and talented Mr. Leotis Thomas Jr., it has been renovated into what you— It's behind you. Behind me, right. into what we see today.
Somebody else will
A multifamily building with 8 modern units which are safe and comfortable for the residents of Galewood community. And most importantly, 5 of these units are designated as affordable units for moderate income families whose income does not exceed 80% of the area median income, and that is fantastic. That's 62% of these units out of 8. This particular model speaks to the ability of our program and the city's programs to address some of the housing challenges that our communities face and our ability to find creative solutions together. We are incredibly proud to have played a role in bringing these housing options to this beautiful tree-lined street of Galewood, and we're excited to watch it come back with families who will call this place home. Yes. Now I'd like to invite to the podium someone who has championed the work of the Land Bank and supported it from the very beginning of our vision, Madam President Toni Preckwinkle. Please come. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I want to thank you, Jessica. I'm pleased to be here today for this important event. I'd like to recognize Cook County Commissioner and CCLBA Land Bank Board Chair Bridget Gaynor, who couldn't be with us today, but who has been instrumental in the work of the Land Bank. Cook County Commissioner Tara Stamps is with us. Alderman Chris Taliaferro was here earlier and has a representative, I think, who will be speaking. And Department of Housing Commissioner Lisette Castaneda, is that close? That is very good. All right, good. And Stacy Young from CIC are all here joining us. The building we stand in today is an example of what's possible when organizations work together toward a common goal to keep Cook County affordable for working families, which is critical to the health of our county. At every step of the way, each partner in this project shared a vision. The city's Troubled Buildings Initiative saw the immense potential in this building and put it into receivership with Community Initiatives, Inc., an affiliate of CIC. And let me just say, I mean, one of the terrible things that's happened in this city for decades is that beautiful old buildings like this were torn down instead of renovated. And you see the devastation that has impacted communities on the west side, on the south side, because of that city policy. It was cheaper for the city to just tear buildings down than to invest in finding receivers, working with community developers to fix them up. And the city, and this is city policy, devastated our communities. I just want to be clear that that's the problem we face in many of our neighborhoods is driven by government action. And this is an example of government doing the right thing for a change. So, the taxes on this building were greater than the value of the building itself. And the city approached the land bank to partner on a forfeiture. That's when Leotis Thomas Jr., a developer from the Galewood, Austin community, said, I want to carry this over the finish line. Mr. Thomas purchased the building and employed more than 40 people in this transformation, and soon these units will come to life again. Every part of this process was vital to the outcome, but I want to point out the unique model the land bank provides. None of this would be possible without the land bank. It gives us the ability to wipe the slate clean when taxes outweigh the abandoned property's value, giving buildings a second life. I'm proud of the work that got us here today, and I'm excited about the precedents this sets for the work of the future. Now, I'd like to welcome to the podium Cook County Commissioner Stamps, who I know is excited to have this project in her district. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam President.
Good morning.
So much of my speech that was prepared, thank you, Tamala Odom, just kind of repeated what we've already heard, this impressive partnership, the good government, private and public coming together to create something beautiful. But when I pulled up this morning, I said to myself, man, this is a gorgeous block. Oh my God, Almaston Park is right there. Oh my God, Sarah's around the corner. And I could just feel the same enthusiasm that families that will one day live in these units will feel for their babies to be raised in a community with tree-lined streets and a beautiful park district and a public school that they can walk to, an apartment that they can afford, is really the hope of so many of our working class and poor families and families just struggling to just meet day-to-day needs in this city where the cost of living in the city is just astronomical. And the president is right. You know, government has a responsibility for what we see in terms of the devastation to homes and communities on the west and south side. And so I'm so honored and happy to be a part of government when we're repairing the harm that was caused to communities that I grew up in and that I still live in and that I've raised my children in. So I'm excited for your vision, and I'm excited for the partnership that came about, and I look forward to being at this podium many times over as these public partner relationships come to fruition under the guidance of the Cook County Land Bank. All right, and so I will bring to you now Ms. Kaji McMullen, who will speak on behalf of Alderman Chris Taliaferro.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What big shoes to fill, right? So again, my name is Kaji. I'm Chief of Staff for Alderman Chris Taliaferro, the 29th Ward Alderman of this ward. So regrettably, he can't attend to do this part, but with Leotis, I had the privilege of meeting Leotis about a week or two ago in the office, and I learned a lot about him in that short time span. And one of the things that I saw that stuck out more than anything was his relentlessness, his pursuit to never give up. So this is not his only property. This is one of a few that he has. But this is something that he knew the feat would be quite heavy. It would be a heavy lift, and he stood the course. And because he stood the course and he garnered support from those that was needed, this is what we're able to stand in today. So I just say to Leotis and to all the partners that partnered to get this great feat done, thank you for choosing the 29th Ward. Thank you for bringing your vision to fruition in our ward where our residents can partake in it. And I'm sure that his testimony will reach leaps and bounds of people to let them know that they too can do something great like this. As the president said, let's turn the paradigm. Let's change what we've seen about the receivership process. Let's get involved. Let's everyone engage and stop tearing down what we see and work together to build a new future. So thank you all, and thank you, Leotis, for bringing this to the community. Thank you. So I get the greatest part. So I get to bring to you none other than the developer himself, Mr. Leotis Thomas Jr. Thank you. Please receive him.
I appreciate everybody coming here today to support me and to support the community.
You can stand up straight.
Yeah, I don't do this every day, so. I'm Leotis, and I'm the president of Plainview Development, the general contractor that rehab this apartment building, and I'm also the owner. I would like to dedicate this to my late father, Leotis Thomas, who I never expected not to be here today. He passed within a month of me actually closing on this property. You know, that was kind of hard. It put a little bit of delay on it, and that was hard mentally to get through some things sometimes, but I had a lot of support from friends and family that took care of me. I initially started this to provide quality housing, like in general. I've been doing this about 14, 15 years now. I initially started this to provide quality housing and become an asset to the community I grew up in, which is North Austin and Galewood. This was an experience that taught me a lot, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity to partake. I take none of this for granted. I want to thank everyone here today for your support. I want to thank the Cook County Land Bank Authority for taking the chance on me to rehab a building of this size. It's a rare gem of a complex in Galewood. There are not that many of them, and I got the opportunity to rehab a brick one here. I hope to do more business with Cook County Land Bank soon. Thanks to CIC and Tom Jackson for financing this project and changing my life in the process. CIC definitely has changed my life. So I want to put that out there. And I want to thank, last but not least, my mother, Leona Thomas, for her experience and her guidance in, helping. Without her, definitely couldn't have happened. I really appreciate her encouragement, her knowledge, and her experience. And I look forward to the future and providing more affordable housing in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Thank you. Introduce the next person.
Okay. And I want to introduce Stacy Young to speak next from CIC.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks to Leotis Thomas, all the partners that are here today, certainly President Preckwinkle, Commissioner Stamps, Alderman Taliaferro's office, and of course the Cook County Land Bank, who made all of this possible. I'm Stacy Young, President and CEO of Community Investment Corporation. We're dedicated to improving neighborhoods and providing high-quality, affordable rental housing by financing small local developers who do this work every day. So that's Leotis and many other folks like him. This property is a great example of not only how CIC financing brings critically needed affordable housing back online, but how collaboration and creative problem solving, as you've been hearing all morning, between many partners, how all of that drives so much success. Long before CIC was providing financing for this building, you've heard about this unique partnership between CIC and the City of Chicago, the Troubled Buildings Initiative, in this case, the Troubled Buildings Initiative condo program. Those folks were scrapping it out in the courts. Jonah Hess heads that program up. I think he's here somewhere. But it's a pretty great program. It's extremely efficient and effective. The TBI program intervened early on to make immediate repairs to stabilize this building, which had been abandoned by condo investors. But even though the property was eventually stabilized, between the taxes, the title, and the projected rehab costs, the math just didn't add up. Enter the land bank. By clearing title and taxes, the land bank paved the way for Mr. Leotis Thomas, a new responsible owner to this building who brought and is bringing the units back to life. So CIC, again, is grateful for the partnership of the land bank and all the partners here, and to have such an innovative resource. We're super lucky to have this kind of resource available, or it's possible we would not have been able to save this building. And finally, of course, a huge thanks to Leotis, the developer and owner, a longtime CIC borrower. CIC was delighted to provide an acquisition rehab loan to Leotis. Chaston is the loan officer who helped Leotis out at the end there, as well as Tom Jackson. Leotis, of course, a developer with deep, deep ties to this community, a lifelong resident. He says when he's here, he runs into his friends all the time from growing up. And of course, Leotis has an excellent track record of high-quality rental rehabs. Leotis is a great example of these small businesses, these owner-operators that own, manage, and create incredible units of affordable housing in many neighborhoods across the city. These are small businesses. They are small businesses that deserve the same support and respect as other small businesses. They do an excellent job, and they're extremely efficient at it. So in closing, this project represents what CIC is all about and what community development lending in Chicago is all about, which is working together to invest in neighborhoods and to invest in the people who work tirelessly to improve the neighborhoods. Thanks and congratulations to everyone. And I'd like to introduce Commissioner Lisa Castaneda from Department of Housing. Again, an incredible partner in a million different ways to improve the neighborhoods.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining all of us today as we celebrate this 1701 North Melvina, this particular project, which is a testament to the power of collaboration between the county and the city and the community. Just a few years ago, this property stood as a symbol of neglect and abandonment, a troubled property burdened by delinquent taxes and disrepair. But through the concerted efforts of all of these stakeholders, and of course, the man of the hour, Mr. Leotis Thomas Jr., this property has been transformed into a symbol of hope and opportunity for the community. The Troubled Buildings Initiative by the Department of Housing isn't just about addressing blight. It is about revitalizing communities and providing stable, affordable housing options to residents. By intervening in properties like this one, we are not just improving the physical landscape of the neighborhood, but enhancing the quality of life for Chicagoans. The story of this property is a story of resilience and determination, as all real estate development is. Mr. Thomas is a local real estate developer, recognized the potential of this property and seized the opportunity to make a difference in this community. Through his vision and hard work, this has been revitalized into a place that residents can proudly call home. This achievement was not accomplished in isolation. It was a result, again, of a collaborative effort that brought these government agencies, nonprofit organizations, and passionate individuals who shared a common goal together. That goal is to create a better future for our city. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone involved in this project, the dedicated teams at the CCLB and CIC, the hardworking individuals who contributed to the redevelopment, and of course, Mr. Thomas Jr. and his mother, for his commitment to affordable housing and community development. This property serves as a shining example of what can be achieved when we invest in our communities and prioritize affordable housing for all. Thank you all so much.
So that concludes our program from today. We're going to open it up for 1 or 2 questions. I believe we have the subject matter experts here that can answer a question if there's a question.
Are there any members of the press here? Good, let's take a picture then.
All right. Cut the
Where's
ribbon.
the ribbon?
It's right here. CCLB. I ordered that after you told me to order.
Turn this way, okay? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna look right here first. All right, we're gonna hold and you're gonna cut. Yes, ma'am. No. Put it on there and then just pretend you're about to cut. So then you take the picture. There you go, that's it. There we go. There you go.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, we're gonna look at
Okay,
this
right
young lady
here.
right behind me.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And
Okay.
then one's for the camera here. Sorry. 1,
No,
2,
you're fine.
3.
You're fine.
1, 2, 3. And then we're actually going to cut the ribbon this
But it's
time. Okay.
there are more people behind you.
Yeah.
If they want to take pictures, would they get in a line?
Okay,
Because otherwise we're looking.
Would you want to take one, ma'am? Okay,
Just look in one direction.
I got it.
Yeah, okay, great.
Just get in line, we'll take the pictures.
Okay, we're gonna look at this young lady right here.
Thank you, Ryan. Perfect, thank you.
No problem. We're gonna look at this young lady right here. No problem. We're gonna look at this gentleman right here. Okay, we're gonna look at this young lady right here. Do you want to take one?
I got it.
Okay.
Okay?
We're
Anybody
all
else
set.
get in the middle? Okay.
Okay. Ready whenever.
Is she moving over here? Yeah.
Are you gonna take the
Right.
picture?
Okay, now we're actually gonna cut it, hold the ribbon tight, please.